Hey guys, my name's Lauren. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a bridal shower makeup tutorial for you. So this is the look that I came up with here. It is a little bit more glam and kind of fun with a little bit of glitter on the eyes. So in today's video, I'm testing out a couple of new products, not necessarily new to the market, but new to me. I tested out the Essence, the Cushion eyeliner. So it's a little bit different. So I'll show you my thoughts on that in the video. And then also the MAC Dazzleshadow liquid. So this is a liquid glitter eyeshadow. Super fun product. I think it's really pretty and I love how it turned out. I think this look is perfect for any type of bridal event, whether it be a shower or bachelorette party, or even your wedding if you wanted to do something super glam and glittery and fun for your big day. So before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the bell down below so you're notified every time I upload. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on this video, and let's just go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be doing is priming my face. I've already moisturized, done my eye cream and lip balm. So the two primers I've really been liking lately are the Becca First Light Priming Filter. So this is the one, it kind of has a purple tint to it, so it's supposed to have a brightening effect. And then for my T-zone, because I have been getting a little bit more oily lately, is the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. And I do feel like this does a pretty good job of keeping me matte throughout the day. So I always do the Becca one first, and then I go in with the Too Faced one in my T-zone. And please don't mind my really oddly self-tanned hands. Tried a new tanning salon last night. Don't know if I'll go back, but you know, my shower is not until tomorrow, so hopefully we have some time to scrub that off. Just go in with one pump of the mattifying primer. I feel like you can already see how it like calms down any shine. So now for foundation, I think I have talked about this one in my engagement photo makeup tutorial. This is the foundation that I really like for taking pictures. This is the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation. I have mine in the shade Patagonia. Now this is a pretty dark shade for me, but this is my self-tan shade. I actually went to Sephora when I purchased this. I purchased it in store and had them match me when I was self-tan. So this is kind of like the one foundation that I have that matches me perfectly for like special occasions when I do go and get spray tans. So I'm just going to shake this up. I like to apply that using the Beauty Blender. This is the Sapphire one. And just blend that in. I feel like it gives pretty good coverage, no flashback in photos. And I do agree with the natural finish is what the claims are, because it's not too matte but not too dewy. Blend that down my neck a little, my ears. So that's just one layer of the foundation, and I feel like it gives pretty good coverage, and I do feel like, you know, it's kind of toned down any spots where the self-tan was a little bit intense, and I feel like now it matches pretty good my face to my neck. And I do want to point out, I'm testing out some new technology, I guess you could say. I'm using a clip-on microphone here because it's like super, super windy here today. I've had this for a while, but I've never used it. So I'm hoping it's just picking up my voice and not the wind, because I'm sitting right in front of a window. So now for concealer, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape. This is still one of my all-time favorites. I just think it has the best coverage and the nicest finish. This one is, again, a little bit darker. This is in the shade Light Neutral. So this is a good shade for me when I am self-tan. I think the shade that I usually like to use when I'm not spray tanned is it Light Sand? I think it's Light Sand. I think it's like fair with yellow undertones. I don't have that one right now. I'm all out of that, but this one I think is a good color for me right now. But it is a little bit too dark when I don't have a spray tan. So when I do my concealer, I like to do just the usual spots under the eyes and down the center of the face, but I like to give it like a minute to sit and kind of not dry, but just set. I feel like that helps it to blend out a lot nicer and minimizes any creasing. Okay, so I let that sit for a minute and I blended it all out. I think it looks pretty nice. There's not really any creasing. But now before I do powder and set the concealer and the foundation, I'm going to go in with a cream contour. So I'm going to be using the Hoola Quickie contour stick. I really love the color of this, and it's kind of something that's been sitting in the back of my collection and I just kind of rediscovered it. But the new way that I like to use this is with the Real Techniques contour brush. Dab it on here and then blend it onto my skin. So I'll blend that out some, but you can just kind of see. It kind of gives it more of a little bit of an airbrush finish. Contour around my forehead, cheekbones. Okay, now I'm just going to do a jawline too. Make that a little more chiseled. And I like to blend it down a little bit around my collarbones too. Just to make sure it's all blended. So that wind is really scary loud right now. So I hope this microphone is doing a good job of canceling that out. A little bit under my lip. And I don't do like a extreme contour on my nose. Just a little bit. So now for special events like this, for my highlight, I do like to, you know, take a little bit of an extra step and do liquid highlighter and then the powder on top to really make it pop. So I'm going to be using the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops. Shake this up. And I do feel like this one can be a little bit tough to blend out, but it's such a pretty, like peachy champagne gold color. So I do a little drop on the back of my hand. Spread it out. See how pretty and reflective that is. Dab a little on my finger. And blend that out. And I think it works just fine with your fingertips. You can go in with your beauty blender and blend it in a little bit if you need to. I don't know about this lighting, but we're gonna work with it. There's a little glow. It's really pretty. I love this color. I really like to use this one in the summertime because I really like it with tan skin, the more golden color. Okay, so next I'm going to do my brows, and I've actually been testing out a new brow product. This is the Urban Decay Brow Beater Microfine Brow Pencil and Brush. So it's very similar to the Anastasia one. So it's got the really fine pencil on the one side and then the spoolie on the other. This is in the shade Taupe. So I have been liking it. And I just really, you know, wanted to try something different other than the Anastasia one. And I don't think it's, you know, too much significantly different. But I don't know, I kind of feel like the Anastasia one is still just my favorite. It's a little bit easier to blend. So what I like to do with my brows is I actually brush them down first, because that kind of shows the true shape of the brow. And then I outline the top. You can see how my brow here kind of naturally slopes down, so it makes it easier for me to see that and fill that in. Then I brush it back up. And I outline underneath. And then go in with upward strokes to fill in. And then going through and brushing with the spoolie just kind of helps to blend everything. Before and after. So it's a little bit more defined. I just think brows are so important. They help shape and define your face and help to accentuate your eyes too. So I just finished my other brow off camera. So now to finish it off, I'm going to go in with my Anastasia brow gel. This is the clear brow gel. can't totally get away from her products. So now they do have new brow gels, Anastasia, and they're actually colored ones. So once I finish this one off, that may be something I have to try next. If you've tried them out already, let me know in the comments down below and how you like them. So this is basically just hairspray for your brows, just keeps them all in place. And I kind of like a little bit more of a bushier look, like more natural. So I like to brush them up a little bit, not just flat down. Okay, so there's the brows. Okay, so now the next thing I am going to do is set the concealer. And one of my favorite powders is the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. Upside down. So now this one I really like because it actually has a peach tint to it, which is something I don't have in any of my other powders. Usually it's white or a yellow. But I feel like this is a really nice translucent powder, but because it has that peach tone to it, it helps to prevent any flashback in photos. And what I really like about this, and I think I'm even going to like it more as the weather starts to get warmer, is that it's so mattifying, and it does help to keep my T-zone matte throughout the day. So I just put a little bit in the cap, put a little bit on my damp beauty blender. First I'm going to set my under eyes. I'll blend out my lid, so I'm going to use this to set that as well. I personally don't use eyelid primer. For me, I think it just works totally fine to use a concealer and then set it with powder. So I'm pretty much going to use my beauty blender with this and press it into anywhere I put concealer. And then I'm going to go in with a light dusting of powder all over my face to set everything, so then we can go in with our powder products. So I'm just going to do a little bit more in the cap. And I really like the packaging too because it has this little closure on top. So it's really nice if you're traveling. It's not going to get everywhere. It's not going to, like, you know, settle up into the top and explode when you open it. So I'm going to use this powder brush from Tarte and just dust everything, set it into place. Because even though we did cream products, I'm still going to blend over top of everything with powder. So what I actually like to do first for my face powder products is my blush, because I feel like it just blends a lot nicer when you do the blush first, and then you're blending in the bronzer and then the highlight. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay blush in the shade Party. So this was the one that was the Sephora gift. Oof, was it 1 or 2 years now? It's been a while. Mine's been very low. The cap has broken off. So I'm just going to use, again, my little Tarte blush brush. Dust that onto my cheeks. I just really love this blush because I feel like it's a nice neutral color, but it still kind of has like a little bit of a bronze effect. Okay, now for bronzer, I'm going to be using one of my favorites. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in the shade Luminous Bronze Light. I love this color. I also like that it has a little bit of a sheen to it. I mean, it's not going to look like glitter on your face, but it gives you like a nice glow. So I'm going to use my Real Techniques blush brush, but I really mostly use this brush for bronzing. Kind of go where we put that cream contour. Around the nose. So again, I like to go down the neck with this. Chest, blend it all together. So now for highlight, I'm going to go in with two of my favorites. Yes, it's a little extra, but this is for a special event. So I'm going to be using the Anastasia Amerzy highlighter, which is just this beautiful gold. Look how reflective that is. So I think this is just going to be absolutely perfect, especially with a tan. So I'm going to go in with this first. So one of my favorite brushes for a highlighter is the Real Technique setting brush. Go in with a little bit of this and going right over top of where we put that Marc Jacobs cream highlighter. I go up around the temples too, top of the brow. So pretty, I love this color. Now this was a limited edition, or supposed to be limited edition, but I've seen it, you know, like restocked in stores and Ulta. I feel like you should be able to get it. I'm gonna go on the Cupid's bow, tip of the nose, a little bit, and then I go in with my pinky finger and I kind of just highlight the bridge of my nose. So I don't do too much nose contour with like my bronzer, but I do like to go in with a little bit with my highlight. Okay, now this step is optional. Well, all steps are optional, but this is the Fenty Beauty. It's so bright, and this has a little bit of sheen to it too. The Fenty Beauty highlighter in the shade Trophy Wife, which is a little bit of an intense color, but even for fair skin tones, I feel like if you go in with a super light hand, this is really pretty. So I'm going to be using the same brush again. Just gonna tap in with a tiny bit, and this I'm just gonna do right on the tops of my cheekbone to give just a little extra pop. Whew. So you can see, oh, I love that. That's a little extra. So now I'm going to take the brush I used for the bronzer again and just kind of blending everything out one more time so that highlight seamlessly blends in with the blush and bronzer. Okay, so that is the face makeup all done. So now for the eyes, I'm going to go in with one of my oldies but goodies. This is the Smashbox Shape Matters palette. I got this palette, this was probably the first thing I bought when I started to really get into makeup, because of course one of my favorite YouTubers, Casey Holmes, had recommended. She talked about it all the time. I'm not even sure if they sell this anymore, but I think you can just use any like neutral palette and you'll be able to pull the colors that I'm using from it. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with the shade Vanilla, which is right here, and just set the eyelids. Okay, so that was just a light dusting that I did. I like to always do that first because I just feel like it gives a nice canvas to start the eyes out with. Then to do the transition shade, I'm going to go in with this shade, what is this called? Stripped. So this is kind of like this mid-tone brown. And just start to build that up in the crease. Kind of going in with windshield wiper motions. Nothing precise, just to define the eye. All right, now just to define the crease a little bit more, I'm actually going to mix two of the face products. So the contour shade and the bronze shade. A little mixture of those. And build that crease up a little bit more. Okay, now before I go any further with eyeshadow, I'm actually going to do my tight lining. And this is just the Estee Lauder, what's this called? Intense Kajal eyeliner, and this is in the shade Blackest Black. And I'm going to tight line both the bottom and top waterlines. Okay, so now that our eyes are tight lined, I'm just going to go back in with a mixture of that bronze and contour shade and just blend the lower lash line. I used to never like to do my lower lash line, but I feel like it's so important to me now. It just completes the eye look. Okay, next to kind of define the outer V, I'm going to take the same brush, go in with a little bit of the shade Aubergine. It's just kind of like a deep plum color. So it still gives you that nice dark effect, but it's maybe not as harsh as a black. So just defining the outer V. blending a little bit up into the crease. So it's good to start with a light hand and then build it up, because you can always add more, but it's hard to take away. I'm actually going to go back in with a little bit of the shade Stripped just to help me blend that out. You can see it's just helping to define the eyes a bit more. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit more of the aubergine, but I'm actually going to now mix it a little bit with the shade Sumatra. And then just blend the outside of the lower lash line to define that as well, and connect it with the top. Key, blend, 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 and then blend again. So now the next step is to focus on the lid, and I really want to make it a little bit more bright and make it pop, and then we're also going to be going in a special new product that I have. But first, I'm actually just going to go in with, let's see, I want to use like a flat shader brush, like this one here. I'm going to mix the shades of Vanilla, so that creamy white, and then I'm going to mix it with a little bit of the highlight shade, the shimmery one, and then we're going to pack this onto the inner 2/3 of our lid, brighten that up a little bit. You can see it adds just a little bit more light there. Okay, don't need too much because we're going to go in with something else, but I'm just going to take the fluffy blending brush again, the crease brush, smooth any harsh edges. So now for the little special touch of sparkle I'm going to do to the lids, I'm going to be using the MAC Dazzleshadow liquid. So this is a glittery, super glittery liquid eyeshadow in the shade Not Afraid to Sparkle. And I feel like this color is perfect for any bridal events because it's like a silvery, white, pearlescent kind of shade. So I feel like this is perfect for a shower. And I'm definitely going to be taking this with me for my bachelorette party. So it has a little doe foot on it for the applicator. And I'm just going to be dabbing this where we put the white shadows, so the inner 2/3 of the lid. And what I like about this too, sometimes liquid shadows, especially glittery ones, can kind of burn when you put them on your eye, but this one doesn't do that, so I definitely recommend it. So you can see, nice little sparkly touch. And I do think it works nicely over powder shadows, which is great too. Okay, so there is the glitter eyeshadow, and I like it because it gives a nice, pretty, fun sheen, but I don't feel like it's too much or over the top. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a second, but the next thing that we're gonna do is a little bit of a wing liner. And I'm going to be trying out, this isn't a new product, but it's new to me. This is the Essence Cushion Eyeliner. I just kind of feel like I've been struggling with eyeliner lately, finding one that's like super smooth to use. Like I usually like the brush tips more, but then they kind of fray out, and I feel like the felt tips just kind of get like fuzzy and weird, and you can't get like a super sharp line. So I'm going to be using this one in the pot today with a tiny little angle brush. And what's interesting about this one, I've used like ones that are like gel before in the pot, but this is actually a liquid soaked in a cushion. Like this is a little sponge in here, then with the product filled up in it. And I might just speed through this part of the video. I think I'm going to really need to focus. So I'm dabbing it on. I don't know if you can hear that little sponge. Making sure my brush is flat. So this could be a total fail. Hopefully I don't ruin the eye look with this, but we will see. Okay, so here is the eyeliner finish. I wasn't crazy about the application of the cushion eyeliner, but I think that's just because it's something I'm really not used to, and I do think it was a little bit difficult gliding over the glitter. But I think it turned out pretty good. I think I'll just have to keep practicing with it. The only other thing too, which I think will be annoying, is having to like deep clean your little angle brush every time you use it, because it's just gonna get hard and crusted on. So I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be my favorite one, but I'm just kind of on the lookout for a new eyeliner. So if you have any recommendations for me, leave them in the comments below. So now to finish off the eyes, I'm going to do a little bit of an inner corner and a tiny bit of a brow bone highlight. I'm going to be using one of my favorites. This is the Ofra Rodeo Drive Highlighter. Really, really gorgeous champagne color. I'm just going to take this little tiny pencil brush from e.l.f. Get a little bit on there and do the inner corner. You can just see right away how it just brightens up the eye. And then I'm actually just going to take my ring finger, dab a tiny bit on there, and then so it's slight highlight on the brow bone. I really don't like a super intense brow bone highlight, but I think this will give it just enough. Then if you want, you could add fake eyelashes here, but I'm not too keen on fake eyelashes just because they're kind of difficult and a lot of work. So for mascara, I'm going to be using my Monsieur Big by Lancome. I do really like this mascara. I think I had originally gotten like a free sample, like a deluxe sample size one from Ulta. And I liked it so much I went back and actually got the full size. You can see the difference there. So I do about 3 coats on each side for my top lashes, and then I'm actually going to go in with a different mascara for my lower. And for my lower mascara, I'm actually going to be using my Benefit Roller Lash, and I like this one because it's not so volumizing, it's more so better for lengthening and curling, so I like it for the lower ones. So then I'm just going to give a little extra curl and lift to my lashes, use my curler. You can see the difference. It just kind of opens it up a little bit more. I like to do this after I put my mascara on, because it's almost like as if the mascara is acting like a hairspray or a gel for them. So you can see how much more they stand up there. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the lips. I'm going to use one of my favorite lip liners. This is the Marc Jacobs lip liner in the shade Cream and Sugar. And I just love the name because I'm a huge coffee drinker. I think the name's so cute. I'm going to outline the lips, and I'm actually going to fill them in with this color as well. And now for the gloss, I'm going to be taking this Morphe lip gloss. This is in the shade Boho. So it's a really nice neutral, like almost like a pinky nude. Go over the lips with that. So those are the lips. Then, just to top off the whole thing, the finishing product is going to be my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This one I really like. I wonder if you can see. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a really nice mist, so you just can hold the nozzle down, and like its name, it's just a continuous spray. Really nice. You don't get any like big splotches of the liquid. So then I'm just going to take my beauty blender one more time. You don't have to do this. I just kind of like to press it in and press down any like peach fuzz, anything like that, and eliminate any texture. Helps everything melt together, I think. Okay, so here is the finished look. I really love the glam look, the sparkle on the eyes. I feel like this is going to be perfect for any special event, not just bridal events. Definitely going to be doing this for my bridal shower, which is tomorrow. So thank you, Beth, my mom's best friend. She's going to be throwing a shower tomorrow, so I'm super excited for that. but I also think this is going to be perfect for the bachelorette party. I'm definitely going to be bringing this MAC Dazzleshadow with me. I think it's going to be so much fun for the bachelorette party when we're going out for that. Don't forget to give this video a like if you liked it. Leave me a comment down below just saying hi if you're new to my channel. And please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new videos to come. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.